I spent a lot of my weekend playing Tales of Arise, the new JRPG from Bandai Namco, and this is a game that really is trying to push the Tales franchise to the lofty heights that Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy has achieved over the last several years. This is an incredibly accessible game, and it builds on a lot of the concepts and rhythms and especially combat mechanics that have been a part of the Tales franchise for a number of years. And I credit my buddy Goku for helping me kind of understand how important and fun the Tales franchise is in the world of role-playing games out there. I've played a bunch of them over the years, but I've played so many that a lot of games just kind of blur, in terms of features and stories and things. And I've enjoyed them before, but this was another level. I played Tales of Arise on the PlayStation 5. It's available for everything. You can play it on the Xbox platforms. You can play it on PC. It's not on the Switch, but it's a beaut. It absolutely looks gorgeous on the PlayStation 5. All HDR lighting, lots and lots of beautiful anime-influenced animation, all of the facial details during conversations and stuff. It was just gorgeous. And of course, the environments take center stage. You're going to see snow falling and lava erupting. You're going to go from the kind of primitive world of the Danans to the more technologically oppressive and impressive worlds of the Renans, and that's what this whole story of this game is all about. It's another oppressive force that is enslaving a less sophisticated group of people, the Danans, and using them in labor camps and sort of restricting what they can do with their lives. And you play as a character named Iron Mask, who is tied to another character named Shion, and Shion is a Renan that has kind of left the fold and sees that there can be a better life for everybody out there. And there is a direct connection between Iron Mask and Shion. They have a forceful ability with their power sets and their moves. Shion is a sniper, and the Iron Mask gains control of this burning sword, and Shion will help to heal both of them while the Iron Mask gets up close and personal and has all of these crazy flashy fire effects and awesome arts that you can pull off. So the combat is incredibly satisfying. And of course, what you do is as you progress through the story, you accumulate new allies for your party. And what's really impressive about this game is that you can micromanage everything. So you can bounce between the characters and take control of the characters and kind of mainline a character choice that you might want. You might choose to play as a mage and casting spells from your spell book, or you might choose to play as a warrior that could bash through shields and is a really incredible up-close and personal physical fighter. All of these characters are also enhanced by the arts effects that can be employed and utilized throughout the experience. And all of these arts moves can be pulled off with the correct combination moves, and sometimes you'll ally with another character and pull off a combo together, or all four characters will be on screen together and they'll have an awesome cinematic moment that pulls the camera back, and there's also all these incredible colorful special effects. It's staggering. It's really, really lovely to see. The fighting in Tales of Arise is somewhat similar to a lot of fighting games out there. It's really enjoyable to get into combat, and one thing that I appreciated as I was playing the game is that I didn't try to run from battles, from all of the the creatures and monsters and things that you would encounter along your paths. A lot of times I grind in an RPG to a level where I'm satisfied, and I'll see a lot of these little low rent baddies that want to get in my way, and I'll try to navigate around them. But in Tales of Arise, every battle was fun, whether it was a tiny little creature or bug or a wolf or something like that, or some of the ferocious boss fights that you will get into. It was all super satisfying. And, I was finding it relatively easy on normal mode, especially as I input all of the DLC goodies that Bandai Namco sent to me. I had this huge collection of DLC extras, new costumes and new outfits, new SP points that I could spend on the skill tree, which is made up with a bunch of emblems that you basically fill up by spending the SP points, and then you get extra buffs and boosts based on how many emblems you acquire. As you get deeper and deeper in the game, you can add new arts to your repertoire, so you can pull off a whole bunch of combinations of moves. Once I did put in a bunch of that DLC type content, the game got quite a bit easier, so I had to boost up the difficulty a little bit. But I think the lesson there is, unless you're a diehard and you've probably already got the game and you've got all the DLC that you could spend your money on, I feel like this is a game that you want to earn. You want to earn all of those benefits. And I think at least through your first playthrough, don't acquire all the DLC and all the extras and all the goodies and then have to force yourself to boost the level. I think just play it base level, the base game, and just earn your way through these matches. It's totally worth it. I think it's a little bit cheeseball that you can spend extra money and throw in all of the sort of enhancements so that you can progress through the story a little bit easier. But some people like to do that, so I do have to say, even though I like the new outfits and the way that my characters looked, and thank you Bandai Namco for sending the review code and all the extra DLC, I think I was having a little more fun playing the game when I was more challenged by it, and I didn't have all of this extra stuff unlocked. So that was an interesting point. But there is a ton of stuff to unlock. Lots of cool costumes. You'll find all of these little owls that will give you little accessories, so you can put bunny ears on your characters or giant wings, which will block all of the other characters in the cut sequences, so I had to remove some of those. But, you know, at its core, this was just a super, super fun game to get lost in. I haven't seen everything. I haven't defeated all of the stuff that's in it, but I've played enough of it to know how I feel about it, and I can't recommend this game enough. You don't even have to be a fan of JRPGs. That's how good this is. And as I was streaming it, I noticed that more and more people were like, what's this? You know, what is this thing? Oh my God, this is cool. You're convincing me to go and get this game. I wasn't even looking at this. Now I want to go get it. I mean, it displays wonderfully. I think the only knock that I would give it, and my buddy Goku agreed with me, is that this would be really fun if we could cooperatively play with 3 other people and get into these fights together. Because sometimes it's a little bit chaotic. There's a couple of key elements that the Tales games have always kind of excelled at. The real emphasis on finding recipes and cooking dishes that will give you the buffs and enhancements that you can take into battles with you and into interactions with people. And those key story interactions are really fun, and you can press the R1 button on the PlayStation 5 controller and just get lost in a long conversation. And they've done such a wonderful job of having in-engine cut sequences, some CGI cut sequences, some beautiful kind of animated comic book story bits, and then of course the more familiar, you have to read the text and get into conversations. You might get sent out on a side mission or something. But you're going to explore magical areas, you're going to fight awesome monsters and beasts and bad guys and armored dudes, and you're going to have fun with all of this stuff. This is a great game. It's going into my very crowded top 10 of 2021 list right now because I had a blast playing it. I've got to move on to other stuff that I'm reviewing, but I can't wait to go back and explore this game some more. Tales of Arise is excellent. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.